Should you use a page builder like one of those drag and drop deals for your affiliate site? Hey, I'm Doug Cunnington. I talk about Amazon affiliate marketing and project management. So have a look around. If you like the videos, please consider subscribing. Here's the question of the day. Do you use a page builder? If so, which one? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you like and don't like about your content builder of choice. Most of the time, you probably hear people saying that you really need to use one of these page builders. It's the greatest thing in the world, and you're crazy if you don't use one. Well, the thing is, and you probably know this, people that are always suggesting to use a page builder are usually affiliates for the product. So that means they will suggest that you buy a product. If you go purchase through their link, they get a commission. So they are incentivized to actually recommend a product, even if you don't really need it. I'm gonna dig into a few things today. I'm gonna tell you, when you should use a page builder, when you probably don't need to use a page builder, and why I generally dislike page builders a lot. I kind of hate them. There are a lot of page builders on the market. I'll just throw out a few. Thrive Architect, Beaver Builder, Divi, Visual Composer, Elementor. There are many others, and I just took a look at some of the most popular ones that are out right now. I don't have a lot of experience with each one of them, but I have used Visual Composer in the past, and I've actually used Thrive Architect, which is used to be Thrive Content Builder, a lot. In fact, I've used Thrive Content Architect extensively. So I do have experience with a few of the products, but there are so many and I frankly haven't tested them all. Generally, they have the same sort of functionality. You can add different elements, all sorts of complex elements that would be hard to code by hand, but you can sort of drag and drop an element, say like a button or a table or something like that, and then customize whatever that element is to whatever you want it to be. In theory, it seems like a really great thing to have at your fingertips, right? If you want to create some sort of complex page, but you don't have the coding skills to do that, one of these tools seems like it would be great to use. Here are my general thoughts on these front-end editors where they allow you to drag and drop and stuff like that. First, I feel like it's overwhelming. When you take a look at the sales pages, you see these beautiful websites that you could create and they just look fantastic. You buy the product and then maybe you load a pre-existing template, and then when you start trying to edit it, it's just overwhelming. And the reason why, there are so many choices at your fingertips right there. I just can't handle all the decisions that I have to make just because there are so many that you could make. In general, I feel like there are too many choices. Now, you may be thinking, Doug, don't be a baby. You should be able to, figure out, what you need and what you don't need. But there are so many areas where you could goof up, or even just trying to figure out what font size to use and the different colors. And let's go back to the button example. If you mouse over a button, what color should it change to? So there are a number of decisions that come up when you're working with a tool that gives you the ability to adjust everything. So for me, it's just a little bit too much and a little bit overwhelming. However, these page builders are useful for certain things. And I think if you use the right tool, the page builder, if you use the right tool for the right job, well, then you'll be in good shape and you'll be able to look at the choices you need to make and not have to make choices about everything. When do I like to use a page builder or a visual composer type front-end editor? So number one, the home page is a pretty good place to do that, right? So on the home page, you may have certain things that you want to add in there. You may want to have a large hero type image and an opt-in box for emails or something like that, right? So for your home page, it does make sense to use, a front-end editor. Additionally, any sort of landing page or sales page is going to be, sort of unique, and you'll want to put in certain elements, maybe like a comparison table, or maybe you want to add a testimonial or something like that. So for those kind of pages, these editors are great. When should you not use a page builder? This is the thing that got me roped in initially. I watched a couple of my sort of mentors from afar, and they recommended Thrive Content Builder, and they were saying that they were using Thrive Content Builder for every one of their blog posts so they could put in sort of feature boxes and little extra things all over the place. And I thought, well, if they're doing it, I should do it too. So I started building all my blog posts that way, and it took forever. Did it really make the site look better? Not really. I mean, there were a couple little extra things like maybe a button here or there or little colored boxes around the text, but people weren't coming to my site because it was well designed, and frankly it was designed terribly. But when it comes down to it, I was trying to add things to make it look like someone else's site, but it ended up just looking like I put some weird elements into a regular blog post that would have been fine. It distracted me from creating better content, and I think it actually distracted the reader from just having a pleasant reading experience. Instead, they got sort of weird boxes around text that were just not necessary. I was trying to highlight stuff that didn't need to be highlighted. So that said, I think if you're trying to use one of these page builders for just regular content, you're probably wasting some time. Generally, if you have images that are relevant or any kind of graphics that can add to the content, that's good. But in general, you really don't need to put sort of fancy formatting for a regular blog post. It doesn't really matter. Most of the time we talk about Amazon affiliate review type content, and for those, sure, every now and then maybe a table is quite useful to compare some data or to present technical specs in an easy to follow manner. But most of the time you don't need that stuff. In fact, I don't even use like a table plugin or anything. I just use an HTML table generator, which is another video for another time. Let's wrap it in a bow. I think most of the time people use these page builders. They don't need to. It just sort of makes things a little bit more complex. It makes people experience decision fatigue, and they don't need to go through that. So my advice is, if you're just writing regular content, just use a regular blog post format. And if you're doing something special, your homepage, maybe a sales page or a landing page, then that's the time to use one of these content builders. All right, don't forget the question of the day. Do you like to use page builders? And if so, which one is your favorite?